Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Alexa, and I'm talking to you today about Epicenter, which is a seizure safety app. So I'm going to start off telling you a story about a close friend of mine, and his name is Nick. And we interviewed Nick and his mom. And Nick was diagnosed with epilepsy when he was 6 years old. And his epilepsy became more severe as he reached puberty. But then Nick went to college and on a soccer scholarship, and he actually, unfortunately, had to drop out of school because it was unsafe. It was an unsafe environment for him, and his seizures had become too severe. And something we talked about with Nick and his mom was that, one, he was wearing multiple devices to monitor, detect, and track his seizures. And another thing that we found was that bystanders often didn't know what to do when he was having a seizure. So the problem that we came up with was that there's a gap in services for people with epilepsy, and there's also this lack of knowledge in the community. Bystanders often don't know what to do when someone's having a seizure, and people who have epilepsy often have to use multiple applications and devices to manage and track their epilepsy. So the solution we came up with is this all-in-one seizure safety app. So we would be different from the other apps in the market because we would be an all-in-one solution. You wouldn't have to have multiple devices or applications to use our app. So we validated this idea with users and with bystanders. So what we found was that 70% of users were using more than one method to detect seizures. We also found that bystanders had no idea what to do. We heard that from the user, and we also validated that with the bystander. And 80% of these bystanders said that they would call 911 as their immediate response. However, the user doesn't always want you to call 911, and sometimes it's not necessary. So something else we talked about with them was this idea of notifying the bystander with instructions in real time. And this became really important for our product. So the market today, there's 65 million people with epilepsy and 3.5 million people in the United States living with epilepsy. And unfortunately, a third of these people have uncontrollable seizures and no treatment can help them. So something we looked at was the competition. And what we noticed was that our competition didn't have all of the solutions in one spot. The apps the companies maybe had multiple apps that you had to download, or they only detect seizures in one way. Maybe it's through shaking or through heart rate changes. But they weren't really an all-in-one solution the way that we wanted to be. And then our point of difference that we realized was notifying the bystander. So basically what we came up with for our point of difference is that we would have this audio file that's pre-recorded by the user or the caregiver, and it's a customized message with instructions on how to help them. So this would be an audio file, and that would be playing on their phone and their smartwatch, but they also would have a text file that had written instructions so that it was more accessible. And so this would be for the bystander to be able to treat them if someone was having a seizure. But we would also have all the features in the app. So our marketing strategy, so I've worked with the Epilepsy Foundation in the past, and so we would really want to partner with them to bring brand awareness and to get this product out there. We also want to reach the customer where they are, and a lot of that is on social media and on community forums where people are aggregating that have epilepsy. And then we also think word of mouth is very important, so we want to look at testimonials and reviews and make sure that the product is working as it should and people are spreading awareness through word of mouth. As far as financials, we plan for this to be a subscription model. So we want to start with a 7-day free trial so they can start to use the app. And then after that, it would be a $29.99 month prescription. And this would be because it is a life-saving app. I think that there is this willingness to pay, but we are significantly cheaper than some of the other options out there. And we estimate that this would lead to $300,000 in revenue, and we hope to be protecting 10,000 users after 1 year. So for future outlook, we have other ideas as well. There's attachables that could help people with specific seizure needs. There's also seizure protection, seizure prediction. So Right now, there's not a lot of devices that can predict seizures, but we would hope that, maybe predicting before they happen. And also, we're really interested in other health use cases. So we want to look into falling or dementia, things where this technology could help someone. So overall, we think that really what we are focused on is accessibility for all, and this comes through helping bystanders who don't know what to do, and helping caregivers whose children might be epileptic, and then also helping the person themselves. So in our investment plan, we would hopefully have, we would be looking for funding for, these are our top 3 needs for product development, software engineers, and office space. So this is the team, and we're a very diverse team. We have kind of a variety of skill sets, and that's been really helpful and for our advantage. So we've been really grateful for that. And now we are going to do a tech demo.
So on Apple Watch, this is some of the screens that you'd be able to see on the left. You can see our icon here in the center for the application. And my instructors always told me never do a live demo, but so if you look here, you get a basic display of the dashboard. This displays some of the features that we would be able to show on the application, and one of the features we wanted to demonstrate for this presentation was what would happen if a wearable device detected an actual seizure on the person. So once the application detected the seizure, the mode would pop up on the home screen of the phone, thus playing an audio file as well as giving instructions to a bystander passing by to say, hey, this is what you need to do in the case that you find me having a seizure, as well as this time keeping track of how long the seizure is taking place. Now, we do have a sample of what it would sound like if this scenario took place, and the audio file of what would be played.
Hi, my name is Alexa. I have epilepsy and am having a seizure. Don't be afraid. My seizures typically last between 2 and 5 minutes. Unless I'm hurt.
And that is the demo of Epicenter.